The metro feels like its own little world. People rushing, glued to their phones or lost in thought. Some smile faintly, as if carrying a private joy, while others wear the weight of their day on their faces. Everyone has a destination, a purpose, or at least something that drives them forward. But watching this, I can't help but wonder, have they ever stopped to ask themselves why? I remember sitting in a metro car just like this one, surrounded by the same hustle, yet feeling completely disconnected. It was the day I first realized I'd lost my sense of purpose. Life was moving forward, but I wasn't. Work, friends, weekend plans, it all felt mechanical. Inside, there was a quiet heaviness I couldn't shake. I wasn't sad, exactly. I wasn't even angry. I just felt hollow. When that emptiness creeps in, it's impossible to ignore. It's like walking through a fog where everything around you feels distant and blurry. Inside, it's as if you're stuck in a room with no windows or doors, searching for an exit that doesn't exist. Questions begin to rise to the surface. Why do I feel this way? What's the point of all this? Is this all there is? I remember lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, overwhelmed by those thoughts. What am I really doing with my life? And why does it feel like none of it matters? These questions can be terrifying, but they're also powerful. They force you to confront the life you're living and ask yourself if it's truly the one you want. As the metro slows, I step off the train and head toward the escalator. The rhythm of the crowd carries me forward, and I think about how many of us feel swept along by life's momentum, moving without questioning. But then, as the escalator rises, sunlight floods in, and I feel something shift. The chaos of the metro fades, replaced by the openness of Independence Square. Stepping into the square, I'm struck by its duality. On one hand, it's vibrant and alive. People stroll through the plaza, children chase pigeons, and the golden domes of nearby churches shine in the sunlight. On the other hand, it's a place of memory and solemnity. Flags and photographs of fallen soldiers line the square, reminding us of lives lost and the cost of freedom. I pause by the memorial, letting the moment sink in. The faces in the photographs are young and old, men and women, each one a story cut short. Their presence here is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the strength of those who fight for it. Words feel inadequate, so I let silence speak instead. And yet, even in the shadow of loss, life continues. Around me, people laugh, share conversations, and enjoy the warmth of the sun. This contrast of mourning and living reminds me of something Marcus Aurelius wrote. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Life doesn't stop for our pain, but that doesn't mean we forget. It means we carry it with us as we move forward, finding meaning not in what we've lost, but in what we choose to do with the time we have. Walking through Maidan, I'm reminded of how often purpose reveals itself not in grand, life-altering moments, but in the quiet, seemingly ordinary connections we make. With ourselves, with others, and with the world around us. Purpose is rarely something we stumble upon. It's something we create, one small step at a time. Let me share a story about Daniel, someone who taught me just how powerful those small steps can be. A few years ago, Daniel was deeply unhappy. His job felt monotonous, his hobbies no longer brought him joy, and he often told me, "I feel like I'm just going through the motions." He felt stuck, lost in a cycle that offered no sense of fulfillment. One day, almost by chance, Daniel stumbled upon an opportunity to volunteer. A local organization was looking for people to deliver groceries to elderly residents who couldn't leave their homes. At first, he thought, what difference can I really make? It's just groceries. But something inside him urged him to try. That first weekend, he met Mrs. Carter, a woman in her late 80s who lived alone. Her apartment was modest, filled with photos from a life full of love and adventure. As Daniel handed her the groceries, she smiled and said, "You're the first person I've spoken to in days. Thank you for taking the time to visit." Those simple words stayed with him. Over the weeks, Daniel continued his deliveries, and with each visit, he spent more time listening to Mrs. Carter's stories. She talked about her youth, her family, and her favorite recipes. Daniel realized that what he was giving wasn't just groceries, it was connection, the feeling of being seen and heard. He soon expanded his volunteering. He helped stray animals find homes and spent time at a shelter for the homeless, listening to their stories and offering support. Each act, no matter how small, felt like a piece of a puzzle falling into place. Daniel once told me, "Helping others didn't just give me purpose, it gave me perspective. It reminded me that we're all connected, and even the smallest act of kindness can ripple outward in ways we'll never fully understand." His story taught me that purpose often emerges through connection. When we step outside of ourselves and offer kindness to others, we create a bridge, not just to them, but to a deeper understanding of who we are and what truly matters. Surrounded by the lives and stories of so many, I think about how purpose isn't a destination. It's a journey we take together, through the connections we build and the impact we make. It's about finding meaning in the chaos, not by waiting for it to appear, but by choosing to create it. So, let me ask you, what brings you joy? What small step can you take today to create a little more meaning in your life? Maybe it's reaching out to a friend, helping someone in need, or simply taking a moment to reflect. Whatever it is, remember that purpose doesn't have to be monumental. It just has to matter to you. As Viktor Frankl once said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Life may not always give us clarity, but it always gives us the opportunity to act. Today, I challenge you to take that opportunity. Start small. Start now. Because the path to purpose isn't about knowing all the answers. It's about being brave enough to ask the questions and take the first step.